Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mama Mudhoni. I'm a mommy of two and a half year old Mudhoni and a 4.5-month-old PC. Today we're going to be talking about the things that I think are important and the things that I find to be newborn essentials, things that I've used for both my kids, and I think by now if I've used them for both my children for real, I then find them to be important to me as a mom. Please remember that if you disagree, moms are different, children are different. Whatever you find to be important as a mom might not be what I find to be important as a mom, and what is important to your child may not be important to my child. So just because I say these are essentials to me does not mean that it has to be essentials for everybody. So I'll just start with the mom. I have notes as usual, mommy brain and things, but it's also a long list. I don't think I would have remembered everything. So for mom, first thing of course is maternity pads. I think it's best to always buy this ahead of time so that they don't issue in the middle of you having lock and then you have to start sending people for them. I think I had about 4 or 5 packs this time. I actually had to give out some at the end. I think I'd rather have extra than not have enough. I used some like panty-like pads as well as just normal pads. I liked the panty ones better. I love having disposable panties because again, during the postpartum period, I really don't like thinking about I've stained my panty, I have 4 panties to wear in a day in case I've stained myself and have to wash them. So I just find it to be easier for me to have the disposable ones. You can buy them from Carrefour. One of my friends bought some from Carrefour, and you can also buy them from Kamkunji or Biashara Street. So maternity pads, disposable panties. There's a spray I use. Let me just show you guys. I got this as a gift from my sister-in-law, but you can make some for yourself or you can buy them from Amazon. If you want to make some for yourself, just Google postpartum spray, homemade DIY. You just need something called witch hazel and sometimes an aloe vera syrup or something like that that you can all get locally, and you can make some for yourself. I also think like breast pads, I'll just show you, like this. This is an empty one. But I use a lot of breast pads. Not everybody uses breast pads, and just because you don't use breast pads and your boobs are not leaking does not mean you don't have enough milk. But breast pads, nursing bras, of course. A nursing bra is a bit different from a normal bra, just in case you've never seen one. So it just looks almost like a normal bra, but over here it unhooks. So it unhooks to remove the boob from the bra, and it makes it a lot easier to breastfeed. Like now today I don't have a breastfeeding bra and it's quite difficult to like remove the breast for my son to breastfeed. What else? I forgot to say this when I was talking about panties. Also just normal grandma panties really help, especially if you have a CS. When you get a CS, you have a bit of a hang at the bottom, and when the hang moves around, it's really painful. But when you wear like a corset, like a loose corset, I think I spoke about this in the other video. When you wear a loose corset, not those corsets that you tie at the back, just the ones that are just for over here, like a big ass panty that comes to the top of your tummy, or a grandma panty, it holds the tummy in and restricts movement, so it's less painful. And also I guess if you didn't have a CS, it's just easy also to wear a big panty with the pads, because those pads are really they are huge. A water bottle, this is what I use for myself. It's really old, but I prefer a water bottle to a jug because I find this is more portable. So if I'm moving from the sitting room to the kitchen to the bedroom to wherever, I can just carry this, and I don't even have to care about it mwagikaing on the couch if I put it just next to me if I'm breastfeeding. But I find this to be really essential. A thermos, I use a thermos for, like when I was really new postpartum, I used to have a thermos of hot water and a thermos of cold water, so that at night if I wanted to take like strungi or hot cocoa, I could just have it there, and also for changing my son. And then the cold water is what I drink. Up to now actually I still get a thermos of cold water with me when I'm going to bed. It just keeps my water cold all through the night in the right temperature that I want. T-shirts or vests I find to be very like really essential, because sometimes you really have to change a lot. Mara the baby has burped on you, Mara your boob has leaked, you've forgotten to put the breast back, it's leaking into the t-shirt. So the more you have, the better it is. With Mudhoni, there's a time actually I used to wear like 4 or 5 t-shirts in a day. With my son, I've leaked a lot less, but I've still, often I change at least twice in a day. So just a lot of T-shirts, and you can get these things in Tumba. Most of my vests actually I get from Wangige. So T-shirts and vests, and then bones for soup. There are many people who say they don't like soup, but soup is so good for you. And it's not just about breast milk, but the collagen in soup really helps you in terms of your recovery of your pelvic area, of your pelvic floor, in terms of contracting your uterus and just regaining your strength. It really helps you with that. Yeah. Next, we'll talk about things for babies, and I'll divide this into a few categories. We'll start with breastfeeding. With breastfeeding, I love my breastfeeding pillow. In fact, so many times I keep asking how people survive without a breastfeeding pillow. So the breastfeeding pillow just comes over here. I decided to show you guys what they look like. So I have two. There's this one. And I have this one as well. I'm sure you can see how different they look. Yes, it's very old. I've had them both since before I gave birth to Mudhoni. So this one is from Biashara Street. This one my friend got from the baby shop, but it's a baby banda pillow, breastfeeding pillow. I love this one. As you can see, it's sturdier. Let me just show you. Like this one is soft, and you see, as this one is not even folding. I really like this one. It's bigger. If you go to the Baby Banda website, it's called a twin breastfeeding pillow. It's fantastic, honestly. I really love it. I think it's a bit more pricey than this one. I'm not very sure. But when you put your baby on it, it's more comfortable for you. It's more comfortable for baby. The amount of space it has, like I said, it's called a twin breastfeeding pillow. I think it's for tandem breastfeeding. The amount of space it has just makes the baby lie on it a lot better. And I think also because it doesn't fold as much as this other one, also just makes the baby sit or lie on it better. So there's a breastfeeding pillow, this as well. Nipple cream. I didn't use this actually at all with Mudhoni, at all. But with PC, by the second week, my breasts or my nipples were really sore and really painful. And each time he'd latch, I'd be like, ugh, but it would go away. Quick tip, if when your baby is latching you feel pain, that's a bit normal, a bit. But if the pain continues after they've now started the feeding process, there's something wrong with your latch. It's a bit normal in the beginning for your nipples to become sore, and you can always use this. But if the soreness does not go away immediately, the baby continues to feed, there's a big problem with your latch. So we're still talking about breastfeeding. It's always good to have this, and if you don't have this, you can use coconut oil or any other edible oil. Please don't use a Remis or Vaseline or all those things, because you always have to remember to wipe after each, before each breastfeed, and that's a lot of mind work, and I don't think at that time we have the brain capacity to do that. So just use something like this or something that's edible that you don't have to keep wiping. This thing is fantastic. I'll just explain to you how it works. So, pillow, you put your baby on your breast. I wish my son was here, I show you. So let's say you're breastfeeding on this side. This thing is called a silicone pump. You'll just open it and put it on this other nipple. And all the time that you're feeding on this side, majority of the time, this side will also still get the let down, and you'll get your milk to come out. So you'll suction this onto your breast, and the milk will now be collected here. And most of the times, even if you get 30 ml or 50 ml or 70 ml, depending on the time of day or wherever, and even if it's, let's just say it's a minimum of 30 to 20 ml, 30 ml and you fed, let's say 7 times, that's 200 ml in a day of milk that you've gotten doing nothing, as in you've just been breastfeeding. And that's like a feed or 2 feeds. In about a month, how many feeds are those? 60 feeds. That's a lot of milk that you've actually collected from doing nothing but breastfeeding. I'll be selling this thing soon. If you want, you can DM me in pre-order. Sterilizer. I've used my sterilizer every single day since PC was around a month when I introduced the bottle. So actually the other thing that you need are feeding bottles. There is an array of feeding bottles that you can choose from, so you just choose what is best for you. I introduced the bottle when my kids are 4 weeks old, sorry, not 4 months old. This is because this is the easiest time for them to accept the bottle, breastfeeding has been established and it's hard for them to have nipple confusion at that time. But if you wait until past 6 weeks, it's very easy for them to refuse to take the bottle. So between 4 and 6 weeks is what is ideal. Don't wait too long until you're about to go to work. I have a video actually explaining all these things. So yeah, a feeding bottle, a sterilizer. I use a sterilizer every single day. I see a lot of people saying that they find it useless, but I use it literally every single day. I use it with Modoni every single day from the time she was 4 weeks old to the time she was, like, say 15 months old, every single day. You can choose to buy, what are they called? Tablets, the sterilizing tablets. But I did the math the other day and I really don't find it to be economical at all. It's cheap at the beginning because it's 500 shillings per tablet. But if you're using it every single day, it ends up being about 6,000 shillings in a year. And a sterilizer is about 7,000 shillings. And you can even get a microwave sterilizer for much cheaper actually than the electric one. So in the long run, especially if you're still having your firstborn, in the long run, just get a sterilizer. I think it just makes a lot more economic sense because you'll use it for your first, second, third, seventh born. So yeah. Breast milk bags if you're planning to pump. A breast pump. Gosh, my God, I love my breast pump. That's another thing that also people say they find useless, but I love my breast pump. Again, with Modoni, I used it every single day from the time she was a week, actually less than a week old, to the time she was over a year old. That's a year of usage. With PC, I also started at a week and I'm still using it every single day, 2 or 3 times a day. No, now I only use it twice. At the beginning it was thrice. Now I'm only using it twice a day. But again, I'm finding it very useful. I'll try and do a review of breast pumps, but I think it's good to invest in a good breast pump because the better the breast pump, the less time you spend on the pump and the more milk you're able to get out. I'm currently using a Madela double pumping style. I think that's the name, yeah, pumping style. I've used an Avent before. I don't know what else exactly is in the market or how good they are. Please comment down below and tell us what pump you're using. I've used an Avent manual pump as well before, which is good. Manual pumps are good for removing milk actually. They're a lot better than electric pumps if you're patient, because there's your hand strength and blah blah blah. But just comment down below and let me know what pump you're using and let other people know what pump you're using, how much you bought it for, and what you think of it. Breastfeeding pillow, tablets, yeah, and bottles. Next we'll talk about clothes. There's a lot of confusion about what is what. With Modoni, before I got Modoni, I kept asking people how many clothes they use. And I remember actually it was my sister-in-law who told me she changes her baby clothes 4 times a day. I don't know what that baby used to do. But I think if your baby has a lot of reflux, then probably you'd be changing a lot. I only used to change Modoni once a day, twice a day. Like when she wakes up, whatever clothes she wears, she'll wear them until now. So she'll wake up, let's say in her pajamas, I change her into something more day appropriate. She wears that until now, night, when she changes. With PC, it's more or less the same. Although at the beginning, he used to have a bit of reflux. So I used to have to change him a lot. But now it's still more or less the same. Wake up, change, stay that until the evening. So these are onesies. And by the way, onesie is a brand. It's not a name of clothes. Actually, yeah, this is a onesie. Can you see? Yeah, so the brand is called onesies and that's why people call them onesies. But yeah, so those are onesies. And this you need so many of, gosh, many, like maybe 10 or 12 of these, because they'll wear maybe 2 in a day, sometimes 3. And you can have different colors. I bought this secondhand, I think, for like 300 bob from one of my friends. They had never worn it. And these days, guys, we keep saying that boys don't have cute clothes, but these days they have such cute clothes. Like, how cute is that? It's so cute. So yeah, you need quite a number of onesies. I use these ones generally as vests or for inside, and then now such as tops. Then you can also get long sleeved ones like these ones. I also have quite a number of these. Again, maybe 10 of them of different sizes also. Don't just get one size. So generally I get like 0 to 3 months. I get a few preemie ones, not preemie, like newborn, not preemie, newborn size. And you can get these things second hand, really cheap, for maybe 30 or 50 shillings. I hate having babies wear big clothes, but then I don't understand why people say that. And people tell you, oh, don't buy small clothes. But me, I love my babies to fit in their clothes. I hate it when my babies float in clothes. So I normally buy a few newborn clothes, and then quite a few 0 to 3 and then 3 to 6. But I like them wearing age appropriate clothes. So buy like 10 to 12 of these. Again, 10 to 12 of that. And then this one's for going out and to be seen to be handsome and pretty. You can buy whatever number you wish to buy. And then rompers, like this. I find that most moms like dressing their babies in such clothes for the first 3 months. I'm a bit different. I dress my babies in trousers and dresses, but dresses are not very cute by the way on babies who don't walk. I don't know why. Like, yeah, they look pretty, but they look better when they can stand and move around. But yeah, I dress my baby in trousers and shorts and things like that when they're still very, like even like 2 weeks or even a week old already. I started dressing them in trousers. But most moms like these ones. So you can maybe buy again 10 pieces of these. Not too many of one size. Vary the sizes. Just when you're doing your hesabu, about two pieces a day, and then decide how many times you want to do your washing. And also what time of the year, because again, if you're giving birth in January and the sun is out, clothes can dry in a day. But if it's in the middle of July or in the middle of October, clothes take a bit longer because of the weather. Rompers, trousers, hats. I generally don't use hats, but some people like hats. When I gave birth to Mudhoni, one of the nurses at Aga Khan told me not to put a hat on my baby after. So if I want to put a hat, I valisha her after the shower, then after like 5-10 minutes I remove it, because apparently, well, not apparently, actually it's science, if your baby overheats in their body, like if they're too hot, if the body is too hot, because sometimes we tend to overdress our babies, then the baby regulates their temperature through their head. But if again the body is trying to regulate their temperature through the head, and the head is covered again, so it's hot, then the baby is not able to regulate their temperature, and they can easily overheat, which can easily lead to death. So I generally just don't valisha them. But these days I try and put PC in hats, because they're hats which I've had from Mudhoni's time that I've never really used. So once in a while he'll wear one just for looking cute. Blankets. I have many blankets. I love blankets, and I love receiving blankets. Where are they? Here, something like this. I honestly don't know the difference between these clothes. This Hijuya shawl, a receiving blanket. They're like a million names. I feel like all of them are the same thing. These things, I have like 20. And I used to use all of them with Mudhoni. And even now I still use all of them. I never found them to be a waste. Most people say if you have 3 or 4, that's enough. So maybe just get 3 or 4 and see how it goes if you're buying. I think I had many because I was gifted. I had so many of my aunties and cousins give birth before me, so they had a lot of extra things. I've actually never even bought one. So I was given, I think I have like now 23 of them, and I use all of them. But there's none that does not get used. Even blankets, I've never bought. I think now I have about 10, and I gave out around, I think 3 or 4 recently. I use all of them, apart from some that I find to be a bit too light, but they're too cute for me to give away. But I think maybe 3 would be enough for any mom, because yeah, maybe 3 or 4 again, 3 or 4 blankets, maybe a maximum of 6 receiving blankets or 4 receiving shawls, whatever these things are. These ones, easy. Then from there you can decide whether you need more. That's if you're buying for yourself. Yeah, let's go to the next item. Shower. Basic, a basin, and you don't even have to buy a fancy one. Basins are like 200, 300, 600 shillings. Towels and soap, and then oil, whatever oil that you're going to use on them. In the beginning, try not to use something that's too complicated or too fancy. So something as simple as not coconut oil, didn't work for my babies. Shea butter, or if your baby seems to have issues with their skin, something like Epimax or Oilatum, things like those. Just something simple. But you can always try organic first. So you can try coconut oil on your baby or shea butter or things like that before you buy all these other things. Diapering. Diapers, that's basic. When your baby is new, I bought a few size ones, and then I didn't buy. Why am I lying? I didn't buy. I got them as gifts. So size ones, if you're buying, you can buy just a few, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 packs. And then size 2, again, I don't like my babies floating in clothes. So size ones, and the other thing also I like about size ones is they have a line on them, because when babies are new, it's very hard to tell when they've peed. So at least that line will show you when the line turns blue. I think it will tell you that the baby has peed, then you'll know when to change. Diapers are matte. Let me just show you something like this. Oh, okay, let me show you this thing. A mat like this. Okay, this thing is old. Are you seeing? It has brought up 5 kids now. This is the 5th baby to be brought up using this thing. Balm cream. I showed you in another video. I just used one by Kenya Association something. It's a government one. Is it government? I really don't know, but it's a Kenya Association of something. It's really cheap and it's a big one, and it lasts forever. Like what I've had is over maybe about a year old or over a year old. And then I have this. I always keep some in hand. I don't even know which way is right way up, but it's called Bepathen, and I love it. It's really good for diaper rash. I haven't used this on PC yet, but each time Muthoni got a diaper rash, this thing makes it disappear in just a few hours. You'll see a difference. And then there's this. You can use anything. This you can find like a container at your local supermarket and just put stuff in it. So I just put diapers, cotton, wet wipes, a blanket, a change of clothes. When I was using my own pads, my maternity pads, I used to keep my maternity pads here, my breast pads here, the lanolin, the spray, like anything that I would need to use, let's say in the sitting room and the bedroom and blah blah blah, then I would have them all here. And it's so convenient. You can either choose to get something that you can move around with, but personally I put one in my bedroom and one in the living room, and that way I don't have to keep moving around with things, and I don't have to call anybody to send them, because this thing should always have everything. My nanny knows that it should have diapers, a change of clothes, socks, a bath cloth. You know what you need. So all those things should be in such a thing. Where are we? Play. Newborns are newborns. They just sleep and their awake time is really short. But when they're really new, you can give them something that's black and white to play with. If you look at my IG stories, I forgot to bring my pillow, but I used a pillow that was just black and white. And sometimes if he was awake, I would just put it there and just have him watch. Even with Muthoni, I had a different set of seats then, and they were black and white. So just put her there to look at the black and white. You can also use black and white photos. You can make printouts with animal photos, or even your photos or family photos, because at that age they only see in black and white. And then as they grow older, after around 2 or 3 months, you can around 6 to 8 weeks, they start to see a bit more of color. As newborns only see black, white and bold, maybe yellow and red. After that they start seeing a bit more at around 6 to 8 weeks, and you can use a play mat. My son really used to enjoy his play mat actually from around 7-8 weeks. So you can get him a play mat. You can get him shakers. I'll just show you the shakers that I have. Like these ones. My mom bought this for Muthoni, and they were like a big container. I think she even got them at Kamukunji, with very, very many shakers. And so yeah, the sound really excites him. So sometimes I'll shake for him. Now that he's a bit older, he's able to shake and try and put things in his mouth. And there's something like this as well, the crinkle sound. This I bought secondhand, I think on the streets or from Facebook. I don't remember very well. I bought it from Muthoni. But such sounds, my nephew is there, he's actually heard the sound and he's waking up. But yeah, such sounds really excite them and keep them interested. Now that he's older, he now does it himself and tries to put it in his mouth. There's not much for play for 0 to 3. And then I always have Calpol in the house. But you know, if your baby has a fever because of no reason, like your newborn has a fever, like they've just decided to have a fever, take them to hospital. Don't give them Calpol, just take them to hospital. But if I have Calpol, of course, because I have a 2-year-old, but also now in case of shots and he has a fever because of vaccination, then I'll give him. But if it's not at a time when he has a vaccination, at the age he's in right now, the best thing is to just take your baby to hospital. Don't keep your newborn in the house, especially 0 to 3 months, when they have a fever out of nowhere. Take them to hospital. For the car, of course, you need a car seat, and then such a toy. Although this he also started using, so it just goes on the seat like that. I think you can get this somewhere on Facebook or on Amazon. So it just clips, and then it just keeps him busy in the car. Yeah, that's it. I don't think I've forgotten anything, have I? But if I have, please comment down below and let me know what I might have forgotten. Thank you for watching. Remember to share the video, comment down below and let me know which other videos you'd like to watch. I really love talking to you guys, and please comment and share and like. It really supports my channel and it really supports me, lets me know that you guys are enjoying my content. See you next time, and remember, you're doing great, mama. Bye.